Ms.Ann McCoy, coming from UK and representative of Stockton-on-Tees. First of all, welcome to our Mediabox platform.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And as we know, you are a representative of one of the long-term partners of the European Local Democracy Week. And on the occasion of the 10th anniversary of the European Local Democracy Week, there will be debates during the Congress plenary session in the Council of Europe. So first of all, I would like to learn your motivation for joining this initiative.
Yes, well, we were already doing a lot in Stockton to encourage voter participation. And we looked to see whether or not we could meet the criteria for the 12-star award. And we were absolutely delighted that with the support of our members, our officers, our partners, we realised that we could actually fulfil that criteria and actually make sure that we were bringing democracy to everybody or as many people as possible in our borough, because we think that is a very important aspect of what we do.
And so from this perspective, how do you see the added value of the European Local Democracy Week for your city?
Well, I think it's more than about the week. The added value that we have, because of government cuts, we have to look at everything with added value. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when we look to see how we empower our very bright, our talented, our ambitious young people, then that actually, which is not a thing that people consider about, it actually helps regenerate our town. Because if investors see that we have people who are really, really committed to the area, that they have that talent, then that has that added value for everybody in the borough, not just those who are willing to participate, but when you bring prosperity to your town through things like that, that is where people's health and well-being flourishes. So there is something in this democracy for everyone.
And this is important, and as we know, beside that, as a councillor, you are also in charge with children and youth policies in your city. So what would you like to say about, or let's say, what are your commitments, especially on fostering citizen participation in your city among young people? So what kind of activities you are doing with them, and what is the average age group?
Well, we go into all our schools, both primary and secondary. We have a real flourishing youth assembly. Mm-hmm. And in fact, we have just elected our new youth MP, and we had nearly 5,000 young people voting. And we have this policy of turning what we call small voters into big voters, so that when they get used to their school councils, and we're encouraging more schools to have school councils, they get used to that idea of voting, that they have a voice, then hopefully that carries on into their adulthood, and their families are encouraged also to vote. So we're doing that. We also have something that we call our big voice. And what we do is we get young people together, and it is led by members and officers who get the young people to tell us what their priorities are. And then we look at those and see how we can fulfil those. Now, you mentioned age group. We've always had one event, but the feedback last time was that the younger children from the primary schools felt a little bit overawed by the older children. So for this year, what we're going to do is splitting it in two, so that we have the younger children and the older children at different events, just to make sure we hear everybody's voice. Now, the other thing, which I think is really an exciting thing, we have is what we call Takeover Day. Mm-hmm. Now, that Takeover Day up to now has been where young people have just come in and maybe shadowed officers or the mayor. What we're hoping to do this year is to make that a little bit more proactive. So, for instance, if members are on outside bodies, like myself, I'm on the Council of Governors of the Mental Health Trust, they could come along to those meetings, read the papers and see if there are any questions that's particular to young people that I might not have thought of. And that goes for other members who sit on police boards, ambulance boards, the other acute hospital. So it's really involving them. And we're also, we're very proud of our heritage. So we're having tours around our historic town hall. We do have a municipal building where all the work goes on, but we have a historic town hall. So we're going to invite people to come and have a look around that town hall. And, I just think that we've got so many things. I did write them all down because there was such a long list, so I probably missed some. But one of the other things we've decided to do is, we know schools have time commitments, and we thought maybe we would try to take some of our council meetings into schools and hold them in school halls so more young people can see what we're doing. That is just a fraction of the things that we've got planned.
And lastly, how do you plan to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the European Local Democracy Week?
Well, we've already started to look at what with our partners who've already been involved, to see how we can put something together for October. Now that's okay for people who already know, but we'll be putting things out on social media. We also have a magazine that goes into every home in the borough once a quarter. So we'll be putting things in that, getting ideas, and through the Mayor's blog, and making sure everybody is aware, involving the press, just to make sure if any of our partners have anything that they want to input, then we'll take their ideas. If they fit in with that criteria for that day, we'll take them forward. So it'll be a really good, well-planned and well-advertised event.
Thank you for joining us, Ms. McCoy.